Many years ago, in the lively town of Benin, lived a young lady named Ose. Ose was a firecracker, the kind of person whose presence announced itself. She had always believed she was meant for more. Even as a little girl growing up in the streets of Benin City, she would sit on the veranda of her auntie's small bungalow and watch expensive cars drive by, dreaming of the day she would be the one in the back seat, wearing designer sunglasses, eating Chinese food, and scrolling through the latest iPhone Pro Max. Her Auntie Rita, was a petty trader who sold smoked fish and palm oil in new Benin markets. She took Ose in when her mother died during childbirth, and her father, who worked as a truck driver in Delta State, disappeared shortly after. Honestly, Auntie Rita tried her best to raise Ose well. She would always tell her, "Ose, all I want is for you to have a simple and decent life. Find a good job, get married, and be content." But Ose didn't want it simple. She wanted wealth, luxury, and a life that would shock her haters and Instagram followers alike. She had tasted poverty enough to know that she didn't like the flavor. At 25 years, Ose was what you would call a hustler, but one with class. She had tried everything to make money. First, she sold second-hand clothes she ordered from Lagos. That one didn't work. Then, she opened an Instagram skincare page where she sold face creams and whitening oils. That one lasted for only 3 months before someone reported her page and it got taken down. She tried her hand at pastries next. Meat pie, puff, donuts. She even took a job at a boutique owned by one auntie who paid her just 15,000 naira monthly and still expected her to clean the shop, manage customers, model clothes, and sweep the compound every morning. "It's like I am being punished for being poor," Ose once said to her best friend Uyi as they sat on a wooden bench outside her auntie's house one evening. "I have done everything except for Yahoo." Uyi smiled. "You need to calm down, Ose. Success takes time." But Ose shook her head. "I don't want it gradual. I want a sudden breakthrough." Ose didn't have many friends, but Uyi was one of the few people she trusted. They had grown up together, attended the same secondary school, and both lived in the same neighborhood. However, Uyi was the more reserved one who enjoyed working quietly at a local pharmacy, while Ose chased dream after dream like a cat chasing lights. It was a typical Tuesday morning that started like any other. The Benin sun was already burning hot by 10 a.m. and Ose was in the backyard washing her few clothes. She had only 1,500 naira left in her account, and she wasn't sure if she should eat rice or garri that day. As she sang to herself and scrubbed her faded bra, Uyi suddenly burst through the gate like a whirlwind. "Ose! Ose!" Ose turned around startled. "Why are you shouting like that? What happened?" Uyi looked like someone who had seen a ghost or a celebrity. She was panting heavily and holding her phone like she had just received a message from heaven. "You won't believe it," Uyi said, almost out of breath. "Efosa is back." Ose was confused. "Which Efosa?" "Our old friend now, the slim one who left Benin for Lagos years ago and then went abroad." "Efosa? The one who used to follow that DJ?" Ose asked, trying to remember. "Exactly, that same Efosa. She's back in town, and guess what? She's getting married." Ose raised an eyebrow. "Okay, and so?" "To a Chinese billionaire," Uyi shouted. started, Ose froze. The words echoed in her ears like a bell in a church tower. A what? A Chinese billionaire, Uyi repeated, emphasizing every syllable. They said the man is very rich. He owns factories in China and Singapore. He came back to Nigeria just to marry a fossa. Ose's heart started beating fast. And guess what else? Uyi leaned closer and lowered her voice. They are throwing a wedding carnival next month at Prestige Hall in GRA. They said the guest list includes international guests and top people. Na so I hear oh. Are we invited? Ose asked eagerly. Uyi laughed. Only if you buy their shebi. But Ose, it is 200,000 naira. Ose dropped her mouth open in shock. 200 what? 1,000 naira. But I heard the material is imported silk with custom embroidery. Plus, it grants you access to all the wedding events, including the white wedding, traditional, boat cruise after party, and more. Ose sat still for a moment. Her mind was already calculating the possibilities. 200,000 was a lot. In fact, it was more than a lot. It was ridiculous. But this wasn't just any event. This was an opportunity. If Efosa, their old classmates, who used to wear rubber slippers and borrow lip gloss up and down, could marry a Chinese billionaire, then why not her? Her eyes lit up. Do you think he's coming with his Chinese friends? Definitely now, we nodded. They said his groomsmen are also rich Chinese people. I heard some of them are even single. Ose's mind began to beat fast. This was it. Her big break. Her easy way out. If this is how Efosa caught hers, she thought, then I will catch mine too. Now, news traveled very fast in Benin, especially when money was involved. So, in less than 1 week, the whole street was talking about Efosa's return and her upcoming wedding. Ose couldn't even scroll Instagram peacefully without seeing something about it. It is either photos of Efosa arriving the airport in a silk kimono and sunglasses, or a video of her entering a hotel in an escort convoy, or even one picture where she was showing off her diamond engagement ring. Even Auntie Rita too was shocked. Nah lie, Auntie Rita exclaimed one afternoon as she watched a video Ose was showing her on Facebook. That small Efosa, is that not the same girl who used to hawk groundnuts in our streets? Ose rolled her eyes. Now so, that is how life is. Tables can turn. Anyway, make the table no go break as they turn so, Auntie Rita warned. But Ose wasn't listening. Her mind was already at the wedding. She could already picture herself posing in a glittering ashebi gown, walking confidently into the hall and smiling at Chinese billionaires like a Nollywood actress. She had even imagined one of them looking at her and saying in a soft accent, "You are very beautiful. I like you." That evening, she went to price the fabric. It was a shiny gold and red material that shimmered in the sun. 200,000 naira, non-refundable, and tailoring was not even included. Ose had to swallow her pride and beg a family friend for a loan. She then used the last of her savings to pay a top-rated tailor to sew the dress. It was a mermaid-style gown with off-shoulder sleeves and dramatic flare at the bottom. Of course, it has to be corset now. She even bought gold shoes on credit from a boutique girl she knew. One evening, as she and Uyi sat painting their nails outside, Ose pointed out, "Uyi, this is more than a wedding. Oh. This is a life-changing opportunity." Uyi looked at her. "Ose, just don't get carried away. You don't know what Efosa is going through. Interracial marriages are not a joke. Oh. Language, food, cultural differences. It's a whole lot." but Ose cut her off. Leave that one for me, abeg. Me that I've already downloaded one app that is teaching me Chinese. I can now say ni hao and why ni. That means hello and I love you. We laughed. It is not only ni hao. Hope you know it is not like going to a market to buy onions. This is marriage, oh. It is a very different word. But Ose wasn't hearing any of it. She had already started practicing Chinese greetings in front of the mirror every day. Ni hao, wojio Ose, she would say while turning and smiling like a beauty queen. Finally, the big day arrived, and truly, as speculated, Benin had never seen anything like it before. Prestige Hall was covered in gold and white silk. There were giant flowers at the entrance, chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, Chinese lanterns floating in the air, and waiters walking around with trays of champagne and spring rolls. There was even a stage with a live band playing a fusion of Edo highlife and soft Chinese flute music. Ose walked into the venue in slow motion, wearing her custom-made gown with her wig styled in big soft waves. She looked like someone from a music video. As she and Uyi walked to their seats, people kept turning to admire her. "See babe now," one guy whispered. "Na real slay queen be this so," another one said. But Ose didn't even blink. They were not her targets. Her eyes were scanning the hall. Then she saw him, the man of the day, the groom. He was short, round, and beaming with excitement. He wore a red traditional Chinese robe and was smiling as he held Efosa's waist. Efosa looked like a queen. Her makeup was flawless. Her gown sparkled like stars, and her confidence filled the room. "She has really changed though," Uyi whispered. Ose nodded, but deep inside, she was studying everything. Suddenly, her eyes caught someone else, a tall, lanky Chinese man standing by the champagne table, speaking with one of the groomsmen. He was wearing a sleek black suit and looked serious. He was not handsome, but he was rich. You could just tell from the mere look of him. "Who be that?" Ose whispered to a bridesmaid who had just joined their table. "Ah, that is Mr. Lee, the groom's close friend from Shanghai. They say he owns hotels." Bingo! That was her target. Nothing else mattered at this point. Ose stood up, adjusted her gown, and walked over to the drinks table. She bent over and smiled. "Hello," she said in her sweetest voice. Mr. Lee turned and looked at her. Ose smiled again and used her freshly learned Chinese. "Ni hao, wojio Ose." Mr. Lee's face lit up. "Oh, ni hao?" They both laughed, and that was how it started. They went from having drinks to dancing, and then from taking photos together to exchanging numbers. By the end of the wedding, Ose had already added him on WeChat and sent him several pictures of herself smiling with filters. Uyi looked at her in shock. You don't waste time, oh." Ose smiled like a cat that just stole fish. "You see this wedding? This is not a carnival, oh. This is my recruitment ground. You think I came here to play? After spending 200,000 naira, if I hear." As fireworks lit up the Benin sky and guests danced to Chinese Edo fusion beats, Ose made up her mind. She would follow this Chinese dream to the end. Ose had never been in love before, or at least not like this. Okay, maybe love wasn't the right word. Let's just say ambition dressed like romance. However, from the moment she exchanged numbers with Mr. Lee at the wedding, her life began to move in fast forward. Every day brought a new discovery, a new message, or a new dream about what life in China could be like. She had officially entered her international babe era. At first, their chats were clumsy. He would type something in broken English and she would copy and paste it into her translator to decode. She would then reply with her own half English, half broken Chinese, and he would do the same. Sometimes, the translations were so bad that the conversation sounded like they were acting drama, but Ose didn't care. She would do her best to make it work. She even renamed him on her phone as Honey from China. One of their earliest conversations went like this. Hello, Ose. I am happy talk with you. Your beauty big. Oh, thank you, baby. I like you too much. I want see your smiley eyes. You my golden hot girl. Her friend Uyi tried to caution her. Ose, please don't let those pet names confuse you. You know those people have their own wahala. But Ose scoffed. Abeg. See Uyi, if this man proposes to me this minute, I am going to China with the next available flight. Uyi looked at her. Are you sure you know what you're getting into? Yes, now. Why do you think I have been watching Chinese movies on YouTube since last week? Uyi shook her head. Movies are not real life. Please, Ose waved her off. Do you know how many girls are begging for this kind of opportunity? Me, I am smart now. I know I will blend in well. In fact, I have already started learning their culture. She opened her YouTube app and started playing a video titled How to Impress a Chinese Man and Win His Heart in 7 Days. Her head was in the clouds already, and her heart was now floating somewhere over the great walls of China. Mr. Lee was not exactly a fine man by Nigerian standards. He was lanky, his head was bowed at the center, and his glasses made him look like a school principal. But he was gentle. He complimented her, sent her photos of his city, and always asked how her day went. Unlike Nigerian men who would ask for urgent 2K, Mr. Lee sent money without her even asking. It started with $100 for data, then $300 for skincare and beauty. The big shock came one Tuesday morning when Ose woke up to a credit alert of $10,000. She screamed so loudly that the entire compound thought she was being attacked. Mama, I don't blow. Auntie Rita ran out of the kitchen in shock. What is it, Ose? You don't dey craze? See now, $10,000. My Chinese bobo said it's for me to buy anything I like. Auntie Rita blinked. 10 what? $1,000. Ose danced around the room excitedly. God has done it all, from Benin to Beijing. That day, Ose went straight to the market and bought everything she had ever eyed. Braided human hair wig, check. New box for travel, check. 10 new outfits for airport sleigh, double check. She even paid a photographer to do a photo shoot titled Visa Loading. Her WhatsApp status began to shine like CNN with captions like, money no be my problem again. Mrs. Lee in the making. Dear poverty, your tenancy has expired. If it is not foreign, please I don't want. We came to visit her that weekend and was shocked to see Ose dressed in a silk pajamas with Korean sheet mask on her face, sipping juice through a straw. Omo, you have changed though, Uyi laughed. Please, don't call me Omo again, Ose said as she flipped her wig. That is local. Call me Zayome. It means sister in Chinese. Uyi rolled her eyes. You've been watching too much TikTok. I have to learn, no, Ose said. I already know how to say, hello, I love you, thank you, and most importantly, bring money. They both laughed, but Uyi's laughter was tight. She paused. Ose, I know this looks nice now, but are you really ready to marry someone you barely know? Someone you can't even speak with unless you are holding a phone. Ose shook her head. Uyi, you won't understand. This man changed my life. Oh. If I tell you how I have suffered, you won't believe. Anyway, you know the story now. This is my blessing. Look at Efosa. She's living like a queen. Why can't I? But did you even ask her what it is like? Ose shrugged. No need. I have seen the pictures. She is glowing. That one is enough. But Ose, marriage is not Instagram. It is everyday reality. Waking up next to a man, living in his world. I am ready, Uyi. Even if he's not fine, at least he has money. I won't starve again. But do you love him? Ose looked at her ridiculously. Love? Who love Ep? Look, if he was Nigerian, I wouldn't even look at him twice. But he's not. He's rich, foreign, and he chose me. Is that not love? Uyi was quiet. Ose smiled and continued. Don't worry. Once I enter China, I will find better connection and start supplying raw bone straight here to Nigeria. Money go choke. One night, as Ose was doing an Instagram live showing her followers her new outfit and saying, China no go know wetin hits them when I land. Her phone rang. It was Mr. Lee calling. She screamed when she saw him on video, standing in what looked like a luxury apartment, holding a small red box. Hello, Ose. He smiled. I won't ask you big question. Ose sat up. Will you be my wife? I won't marry you. I won't bring you to China. Her mouth opened. Then tears came to her eyes. The background music was playing soft Chinese violin as if they planned it. Yes, yes, I will marry you. Mr. Lee smiled. Very good. I send ring and money for travel. We do wedding here. I want you come here in 2 months. She jumped, clapped, and immediately uploaded a post on her status. He proposed. I said yes. Mrs. Lee loading. Goodbye, Nigeria. She began processing her visa immediately. Mr. Lee paid for everything. Passports, international vaccination, and even got her a private travel agent. Ose bought new clothes, snapped visa photos, and began adding Chinese flags to her WhatsApp status. Even her auntie couldn't believe it. Ose, so you are really going? Yes, so mama. But are you happy with this choice, Ose? Ose paused. I am happy, oh. I am just overwhelmed. But once I enter China, I know everything will be okay. Auntie Rita looked at her daughter with worried eyes. I hope so. I truly do. Ose hugged her. Don't worry, Mama. When I reach there, I will open hair business for you so you can retire from that your fish market forever. On the eve of her flight, Ose dreamt of sky-rise buildings, dollar bills, hot pot meals, and numerous Chinese hair suppliers. The next day, Ose arrived at the airport with 2 big boxes. She was going to China finally, for money, for papers, and for soft life. Unknown to her that she was about to enter a different kind of classroom, one where life was the teacher and ambition would meet reality. The flight from Nigeria to China was the longest journey Ose had ever taken, as she sat by the window in her seat, wearing her Mrs. Lee hoodie and sunglasses. She imagined all the captions she would post on Instagram when she landed, from 3rd Mainland Bridge to Benjamin Bridge, international soft girl movement. When the plane touched down, she took out her phone to record a short video. Guys, I'm in China. I made it. Nobody should ever give up. Oh, God did it. She didn't post it immediately though, as Wi-Fi was still a struggle. As she came out of the airport with her suitcase and 4 jackets, even though it wasn't that cold, she saw Mr. Lee standing there holding a small board that read "Ose Lee wife." She smiled and waved dramatically. "Baby!" Mr. Lee waved back like a robot, then walked up and hugged her awkwardly. "You arrived good," he said. "Very good," she replied. "Very, very good." The first few days were like a fairy tale. Well, almost. Mr. Lee took her to his fancy apartment, bought her warm clothes, gave her a new iPhone, and filled the fridge with food. Although most of it looked suspicious. Why does everything here look raw and alive? She thought to herself as she saw what looked like a bag of moving snails. Still, she smiled. "I can manage. It is the price for soft life." They started the wedding preparations quickly. Mr. Lee said his parents wanted to meet her before the ceremony. He was excited, but Ose was nervous. "Are they nice?" she asked one night as they ate dinner. Mr. Lee smiled. "They strong, but they love family. I tell them you best woman." Ose laughed awkwardly. "I hope so." Mr. Lee's parents lived in a traditional Chinese neighborhood. When they entered the house, everyone removed their shoes. Ose tried to remove hers too, but her new body shaper made it hard for her to bend. She stumbled and nearly fell. Mr. Lee's mother gave her a bombastic side eye. They all sat around a low table. Then everyone began to talk in Chinese, very fast, sharp and confusing. Ose sat like a museum statue, smiling like a doll at every sentence, even though she understood nothing. She tried to join in. "Ni hao," she said shyly to Mr. Lee's mother. The woman nodded once and then said something long in Mandarin. Ose quickly turned to Mr. Lee. What did she say? "She say you look very different." "Different how?" Ose asked. "Just different," he smiled. And then, when food was served, Ose's problems doubled. There were dishes with eyes staring at her, soup with black eggs, and something that looked like worms swimming in red oil. She swallowed hard. "Where is the rice?" she whispered to Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee smiled. "No rice. Eat sea cucumber and jellyfish." Ose forced a smile and chewed something that crunched like a cockroach shell. "Nice," she lied, as she had to hold herself back from throwing up. After dinner, his mother brought out a small gift and handed it to Ose. Ose opened it quickly. It was a large white scarf. "Ah, so beautiful," she said. His mother spoke again in Mandarin. "What did she say?" Ose asked Mr. Lee. "She say, wear it more. Your top too open. She say you need be modest." Ose nearly dropped the scarf. By the time they left, she was exhausted. That night, she asked Mr. Lee, "Baby, you sure your family will accept me?" He smiled. "Good, good. You learn culture, you try. I love you, they love you." Ose smiled faintly, but inside, something pinched her. 1 week later, they went shopping at a local mall. Mr. Lee was on a call and Ose was trying to ask for toilet paper. She didn't know the word, so she acted it out. She squatted and pretended to wipe. The shopkeeper looked alarmed. "Ni shu sheme?" he asked. Ose tried again. "Paper. Bathroom, used to clean." She folded imaginary tissue with her hands, waved it, then pointed to her bum. The man frowned. People started watching them. Mr. Lee turned and laughed. "Why you not ask me?" he said. "I didn't want to disturb you. You just disturb whole store," he said, still laughing. Ose laughed too, but truly, she wanted to cry. Every day felt like she was acting a one-woman mime show. She downloaded 3 different translation apps, but they weren't always reliable. One day, she told a driver she wanted to buy chicken, and the app translated it as, "I want to marry your grandfather." The man had to park and laugh for 2 minutes straight. One cold evening, Mr. Lee came home looking tired and stressed out. "I want food," he said, and fell to the couch. Ose got up proudly. "Today, you will eat real African food. I cooked something special for you, black soup with pounded yam." Mr. Lee smiled. "Okay." When she brought the food, the aroma filled the house. Ose smiled like a proud chef. "This is called black soup, Edo people special. It is very good for the body." Mr. Lee looked nervous. "It's very black." "Don't worry, just chop, gooder," she said, trying to encourage him. After minutes of confusion and hesitation, Mr. Lee finally used his hand to scoop the swallow and dipped it into the thick dark soup. Slowly, he put it in his mouth. 1 second, 2 seconds passed. Then he started coughing hard. He couldn't even stand up. His face was turning red. He held his throat. Water! Ose panicked and rushed to him. "Swallow it now. Good. Sweet, swallow." "I no can breathe. Call doctor," Mr. Lee struggled to say. Now, what started as a meal surprise turned into a full panic that they ended up rushing to the hospital. The diagnosis was shocking to Ose. Swallow stuck in throat. And the doctor's advice was no more sticky Nigerian balls. Ose sat in the hospital hallway holding her head. She was tired, burnt out, lonely and frustrated. This was not how she pictured her soft life. She had even forgotten about her raw human hair and Instagram posts, as the only thing she had done since she arrived was to run from one confusion to another. At this point, she was more like a deaf and dumb, because the rate at which she did "good," "me," "no," "oh," while making signs with her hands was even more than a real dumb person would do in a day. That night, as she stared at Mr. Lee snoring on the couch with tissue stuffed in his nose, she sighed. What more drama will Ose face in her Chinese marriage journey? Will her dream swallow her, or will she conquer it? Stay connected to find out in the next part. Share the story out with your loved ones. Give the story a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring the next part your way. Bye!